Do you actually know if your cat feels safe with you or if it has just learned to live around you? Because here is the uncomfortable truth. Most cat owners believe they are showing love every single day. The food, the cuddles, the little habits that feel harmless, even caring. But what if some of those same habits are quietly doing the opposite? What if your cat is not pulling away for no reason, but reacting to something you have been doing all along without even realizing it? Here is the thing. Cats do not see love the way we do. They do not measure it in kisses or attention or how often you touch them. They read something deeper, something quieter, safety, control, trust. And when those things are disrupted, even in small ways, your cat does not complain. It does not argue. It does not try to explain. It simply pulls back, a little less time near you, a little more hesitation, a little more distance that grows so slowly, most people never notice it happening. And that is what makes this dangerous. Because the habits we're about to go through do not feel wrong. They feel normal. They feel loving. They feel like things good owners do. But in your cat's world, they can signal something completely different. Stress, confusion, even fear. In this video, we are breaking down 17 everyday things you need to stop doing with your cat. Not because you are a bad owner, but because no one ever taught you how cats actually experience them. And the last one is something almost everyone does, but it might be the one that damages your bond the most. Number 1. Kissing your cat on the nose. It feels gentle. It feels close. It feels like love. But to your cat, it is something very different. That nose is one of the most sensitive parts of their body, packed with scent receptors, constantly reading the world. And when your face suddenly moves in, your breath, your smell, your movement, it overwhelms them instantly. Worse, in the animal world, bringing your face that close is what predators do before they strike. So your cat turns away, not because they do not love you, but because their instincts are telling them, this is not safe. Number 2. Waking your cat up for attention. You see them sleeping, curled up, peaceful, and you just want to touch them. But here is what most people do not realize. Sleep is not just rest for cats. It is repair. Deep sleep is when their body heals, when their immune system resets, when their brain processes everything from the day. And when you interrupt that, even gently, you are breaking a cycle their body depends on. Do it often enough, and your calm cat becomes irritable, restless, even less affectionate. Real love sometimes means letting them sleep. Number 3. Yelling at your cat. It feels automatic. They knock something over, scratch the couch, miss the litter box, and your voice gets louder. But your cat does not understand why. They do not connect your reaction to something they did minutes ago. All they understand is that you became unpredictable, is loud, sharp, unsafe, so they do not learn the behavior is wrong. They learn you are something to be careful around. And that changes everything. Because once fear enters the relationship, trust does not disappear all at once. It fades quietly. Number 4. Holding your cat when they want to. They squirm, they twist, they try to get down. And you hold on tighter, thinking they will get used to it. But they will not. Because to your cat, being held without control feels like being caught, like being trapped by something stronger. An instinct kicks in fast. Escape. Or panic. Every time you ignore that signal, you teach your cat one thing. Your hands take away freedom. And once that idea settles in, they stop coming to you, even when you are trying to be gentle. Number 5. Leaving the TV on for company. It sounds comforting to you. Background noise, voices. But your cat does not experience it that way. To them, the screen flickers unnaturally. The sounds jump unpredictably, loud, then quiet, then sharp again. And their hearing is far more sensitive than yours. So what feels like company feels like constant noise they cannot escape. No clear source, no clear meaning, just tension, sometimes silence, is the most peaceful thing you can give them. Number 6. Using water to punish them. A spray bottle seems harmless, quick, effective, simpler. But your cat does not link it to what they did. They link it to you, to your presence, your hands, your approach. So instead of learning, do not do that, they learn something bad happens when this person is near. And the behavior does not stop. It just moves to when you are not watching. What you lose instead is trust. Number 7. Feeding them the moment you wake up. It feels natural. You wake up, they eat. But your cat is always watching patterns, learning connections. And very quickly, they figure something out. You waking up equals food. So if they want food earlier, they do not wait. They wake you up earlier and earlier and earlier until your mornings are not yours anymore. A small delay breaks that loop completely. Number 8. Letting them bite your hands during play. It is cute at first. Tiny teeth, playful energy. But your cat is learning something serious. Your hands are prey. Every movement, every reaction reinforces it. And as they grow, that playful bite turns into something much sharper, much harder to control, because you did not just allow it, you taught it. Number 9. Placing food near the litter box. To you, it is practical, convenient, but to your cat, it goes against instinct. In the wild, animals never eat, where they eliminate waste. It is unsafe, unclean, so when those two spaces overlap, your cat feels a quiet conflict. And over time, it shows up as less eating, less drinking, even health problems. The fix is simple. Separate those spaces. Let instinct feel right again. Number 10. Scratching their belly. They roll over, expose everything, and it feels like an invitation. But it is not. It is trust. The most vulnerable part of their body, offered without fear. And when you reach in, the trust flips instantly, because instinct says, protect. That is why the claws come out. Not aggression, not mood swings. Just survival, triggered in a second. Respecting that moment builds more trust than touching ever could. Number 11. Ignoring small behavior changes. They eat a little less, hide a little more, move a little slower, and it is easy to brush it off. But cats do not show weakness easily. They hide it, because in the wild, showing weakness means danger. So by the time it is obvious, it is already serious. Those small changes are early signals, and noticing them is one of the most powerful ways you protect your cat's life. Number 12. Using essential oils around them. It smells calming to you, relaxing, but your cat's body cannot process many of those compounds. They build up slowly, silently, in the liver, until one day symptoms appear, and by then the damage is already there. What feels harmless can become something much heavier over time. Sometimes love means removing things you personally enjoy. Number 13. Giving milk as a treat. It looks right. It feels traditional. A cat with a bowl of milk. But most adult cats cannot digest it properly. Their bodies simply are not built for it anymore. So, what tastes good quietly causes discomfort, digestion issues, dehydration, and you do not always see it immediately. Water is what they actually need, not the image we have all been taught. Number 14. Leaving windows open without protection. They sit there calmly, watching birds, feeling the air, and it feels safe, until one moment changes everything. A sudden movement, a distraction, and instinct takes over. They jump without calculating the fall. It only takes 1 second, and the risk is real. Safety here is not about trust. It is about prevention. Number 15. Using covered litter boxes. It hides the smell for you. But inside, that space traps everything. Odor, ammonia, moisture. Your cat experiences it every single time they enter. And slowly, they start avoiding it, not out of defiance, but because it does not feel safe or clean to them. An open space often feels better than a hidden one. Number 16. Cutting their whiskers. They look like simple hairs, but they are not. They are sensory tools, helping your cat measure space, detect movement, navigate the world, even in the dark. Remove them, and your cat loses more than appearance. They lose awareness, confidence, and suddenly, their own home feels unfamiliar, disorienting. That small action creates a much bigger impact than most people realize. Number 17. Punishing marking behavior without understanding it. It feels frustrating, unexpected, but marking is never random. It is communication, stress, fear, territorial tension, even pain. And when punishment is the response, the message gets lost. the stress increases, and the behavior gets worse. Because the problem was never disobedience. It was something deeper, trying to be heard. So what does all of this really mean for you and your cat? It means something simple, but easy to miss. Your cat has never been difficult, never dramatic, never random. Everything they do, every reaction, every step back, every moment of distance has always been a response to the environment, to their instincts, to you. And here is the part most people do not realize until it is too late. Cats do not break bonds loudly. They do not protest. They do not demand explanations. They adjust, quietly, a little less trust, a little less closeness, a little less of that invisible thread that once made them feel completely safe with you. But the opposite is also true. Every small change you make, every moment you choose to understand instead of react, every time you respect their boundaries instead of crossing them, you rebuild that thread, stronger, deeper, more real than before. Because to your cat, love is not what you give. It is what they feel when they are around you. It is the absence of fear, the presence of safety, the quiet certainty that nothing bad happens when you are near. And when that feeling is there, your cat does not just live with you. They choose you, again and again and again. So the next time your cat walks into the room, pose, and decides to come closer, know that moment is not small. It is trust, and that is something you never want to lose.